A lot of people are asking, can Christians celebrate Halloween? Is it satanic, a pagan holiday? It's not. It's actually a hijacked Catholic holy day. The idea that Halloween is a pagan holiday or that it's about worshiping the devil is something that is relatively new. It's a lie that has been sold to the American people by a consumerist culture, a secular society, and an anti-Christian, anti-Catholic media. We live in a time in which the West is actively trying to detach itself from its roots in Christendom. We must fight back. So let's talk about Halloween, its origins, and how we can take it back. Modern Halloween, as most Americans know today, is the total product of American consumerist culture. Filled with witches, wizards, demons, and the occult, Halloween has fallen quite far from what it's supposed to represent. Halloween, or as it is more formally known, All Hallows' Eve, marks the beginning of Hallowtide, a Catholic triduum of holy days remembering those who have passed from this earth, to pray for them, especially those who are in purgatory, as well as it serves as a reminder of the reality of heaven and of hell. Hallowtide comes from the words hallow, meaning holy, and tide, meaning time, a holy time. But sadly, there is nothing holy represented in the modern mainstream version of Halloween. Many people don't even know about the Catholic roots of the traditional Hallowtide. The 3 days which make up the celebration of Hallowtide are Halloween, or All Hallows' Eve, All Saints' Day, and All Souls' Day. All Saints' Day is a Catholic holy day of obligation, meaning every Catholic is required to attend Mass on this day. This Mass, celebrating the holy saints or the hallowed ones, is also referred to as Hallowmas, similar to how the Mass celebrating the birth of Christ is referred to as Christmas. Traditionally, Catholics would begin celebrating holy days such as this one on the evening before, just like we celebrate Christmas Eve or Easter Vigil. And this is where we get All Saints' Eve, aka All Hallows' Eve, aka Halloween. So you may be thinking, well, where did these modern traditions come from then? Well, several of them come from England. The tradition of trick-or-treating finds its roots in England, where during Hallowtide people would share soul cakes, which were sweet biscuits with a cross baked onto them. People would go door to door with their neighbors, gifting soul cakes in exchange for prayer intentions. As this tradition went on, it began to look more and more like what we know today. Children began carrying carved turnip lanterns with them as they went from house to house, and eventually costumes were introduced, some paying tribute to the saints, while others simply paying tribute to the dead. Yet these were not the only traditions associated with Hallowtide. Large bonfires and decorating with candles were also an important part of these traditional celebrations in many cultures. In Poland, this celebration is taken very seriously. Here, Halloween is hallowed, not hellish. Poles use this time to publicly celebrate the lives of their ancestors and their saints. They celebrate not death, but the eternal life given to us through Christ. In Poland, streets, cemeteries, and squares are lit up magnificently with candles, lanterns, and decorations. There is nothing satanic or pagan about it. It is a beautiful tradition honoring the dead. In fact, Poland has actively been fighting against the modern perversion of Halloween that has been poisoning their culture through American media. In Europe, a movement known as Holy Win began in the early 2000s, which serves to protect the Catholic cultural traditions of Hallowtide from the morbid secular version of Halloween that started here in the United States and has spread worldwide. Mexico also has its own set of traditions surrounding Hallowtide, or as they call it, the Day of the Dead. And while these traditions differ in many ways from our own European traditions, they are wholly preferable to the morbid secular version of Halloween taking over our culture today. So, what can we as individuals do to fight back against this hijacked version of our holy day? We must be an example of how to properly celebrate this triduum. First, go visit your family's graves. This is an important tradition. Set a candle or flowers and say a prayer for their souls. If you have children, make this a family tradition. Show them just how important it is to have respect and reverence for your forebears. Simple traditions like this becoming more mainstream across America could very much help our current culture's hatred for its history by showing respect for those who came before us. Host a traditional Hallowtide party. I'm not telling you to take all the fun out of Halloween. For kids, trick-or-treating and celebrations are great as long as they are kept in a moral and virtuous light. A Hallowtide party, or if you want, call it Halloween, is a great way to expose your friends and family to the true meaning of this season. Make soul cakes, show off iconography of saints if you have it. Dress up like a saint or your ancestors if you want. If you want to have a little more fun with the kids, maybe they could dress up as characters from Christian-based fiction such as The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, or Narnia. Maybe break out Great Grandpa's World War I uniform and talk about your history and heritage as a family. Most importantly, go to church on these days. Church attendance at All Saints' Day is already a requirement if you're a Catholic, but try attending Mass on All Hallows' Eve and All Souls' Day as well. Get deceased family members' Mass intentions. Pray for the souls in purgatory. Many Catholic churches have special evening Masses on these days. Lucky for me, my church is very blessed to have a large collection of relics which are on display during Hallowtide. Relics are a part of the Catholic Church, which is constantly attacked by Protestants. No, we are not necromancers. That is a Protestant psyop. This is a simple way in which we honor the holiest of our ancestors, the saints, and seeing relics can be a very moving experience for many people, reminding you that the saints are real people, flesh and blood just like you and I. We have a duty to follow their example, live holy lives, and try to be saints ourselves. If you're a parent, setting this example with your actions, showing your children the importance of the true meaning of Halloween or Hallowtide, is just one way which we can hopefully take back ground against the secular culture. We must take back the culture, and simple traditions like this being passed down to the next generation is a great place to start. Lastly, don't give up on this tradition just because our secular society has perverted it. We gain no ground in the culture when conservatives and Christians turn and run. Sadly, a huge number of Protestant Christians are the ones perpetuating this idea that Halloween is pagan and satanic and boycotting the holiday altogether. A lot of that unfortunately comes out of the anti-Catholic sentiments that used to rule the South. Hallowtide as a holy day was developed in Italy. It is not a ripoff of a Celtic pagan holiday. The fact that they both coincide with the harvest season is just logical. It is a time of death in nature, a time to reflect. We are not Satan worshippers, we are Catholics. Let's act like it. I hope this video gave you some new ideas on how to celebrate this year. If so, please leave a like and comment on this video. So enjoy Hallowtide, however you choose to do so. Take care, and God bless.